points on the crown. A massive basket.
Three. You are kidding me.
And the fire burned brightest. Townsville are WNBL champions for the fourth time.
Round 12 of the Cygnett WNBL season continues in the heat of North Queensland with a clash between two teams at completely different ends of the ladder and at completely different stages of their respective journeys. The Townsville Fire remain on top of the ladder with a 12-4 record, which has them championship favourites for the moment. But a 36-point reality check courtesy of the Melbourne Boomers last weekend proved they're gettable. And who knows, maybe this young, plucky Adelaide Lightning could give them a serious shake tonight. They'll be hoping to go even better than what they did last time when the two teams met on a warm night at the Townsville Entertainment Centre right here on 9 Now. Ben Morderworth with you, as is one of the sharpest basketball minds in the country, Laurie Chiswick. Laurie, this sport, this league is unpredictable, and the Lightning will be hoping to throw the most outrageous of curveballs at us tonight.
Oh, you say that again, Ben. It will have to be a massive curveball because, as you mentioned, they will be stinging after the last round's 36-point loss to Melbourne, where they were completely outworked, out-rebound, outclassed by the Boomers. Didn't come close to matching their physicality, which I understand they did address at training this week by having some very intense physical trainings. But watch out, Adelaide. I feel like the bear has been poked.
We'll wait to see how that plays out. The last time these two teams met was at the Townsville Entertainment Centre all the way back in late November. And despite where the two teams currently sit on the ladder, it was a 67-61 win by the home side, the Fire, in the end. Across the game, though, there was barely anything between the two sides. It was single-figure digits at the end of every change and ultimately a 6-point differential. So maybe Adelaide, Laurie, might get a little bit of confidence out of this meeting.
Well, and you have to remember that Alice Cygnett was still playing for Townsville, and we know that she's not suiting up in tonight's game still with her wrist injury. Boyle's had a great game, 18 points. Turner had 17 rebounds, but really it was Michaela Roof with her 13 points and 9 rebounds that made the difference. But I agree, Adelaide will think that they match up well with them, and you go into every game believing you can win.
There is Izzy Borlase on screen. Big week for her. She was named in the Opal squad for the Olympic qualifying tournament, and she spoke about that with Megan Huswaite earlier this week.
Sandy told you the news on Sunday. What was the message she delivered?
She just said, I mean, there's obviously some injuries in the group, so there's an opportunity there, and she said she's excited to work with me, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Hard to believe she's only 19 years of age, Laurie, and she gets a gig in the Opal squad alongside Steph Reed and I suppose perennial Opal now, Sammy Whitcomb as well. We'll talk about the Opal squad a little bit later at halftime, but looking forward to seeing the likes of Izzy Borlase go in the green and gold. Let's have a look at the WNBL ladder ahead of this game. You can't hide it. It's first versus eighth tonight. Townsville 12-4, Adelaide Lightning 4-13, but we do know the Townsville Fire just had the one win, the one loss in their last two games against the Melbourne Boomers. The Boomers with an emphatic win in that last game between the two sides. So let's have a look at how the Townsville Fire will line up tonight. And as you mentioned, Alice Cygnett still not out there for the Fire. Also Amanda Zowie B. She's probably another 1 to 2 weeks away out with a calf injury, but it's still a very strong starting five, Laurie.
Well, it is a great starting five, and I love the fact that Courtney Woods has stepped into that starting lineup and just blossomed as a player. I mean, she was having a good season anyway coming off the bench, but she's averaging 13 points per game now. But I just love the way that she goes about her business.
Yeah, just amazing to think that her overall career average in the WNBL is 7 points, and that's really ballooned this year. Let's have a look at the Adelaide Lightning. Obviously still missing Steph Talbot. Hopefully she's not too far away as well. It can be tough for a team towards the bottom end of the ladder at this stage of the season, Laurie, but stranger things have happened in the WNBL over the years.
And even if you're not vying for a playoff spot, you always want to end the season on a positive note. Right now they're tied with 4 wins each with Canberra, and they would want to try and be get a couple wins, take some big scalps, and maybe get off the bottom of the ladder. That'll be their that'll be their focus in tonight's game.
Taylor Brazel again starting for Adelaide, and Lauren Mansfield, the skipper, coming off the bench. That is going to be an intriguing matchup tonight. The two centres going at it there. Bree Turner of the Lightning and Zatina Akuzo of the Townsville Fire. Turner, again, having another terrific season in the WNBL, but Akuzo getting better with every season she plays in the WNBL. We'll see how it all plays out over the next couple of hours here on 9 Now. Great to have your company wherever you're watching. It's the Fire with first possession. The Fire have won their past 3 games against the Adelaide Lightning. They already have the sweep this season as Steph Reid goes to work looking for the and one. She will go to the line to shoot the first 2 free throws of the game.
And Steph Reid, that's what she brings to this lineup, and I'm assuming she'll bring to the Opal squad as well. She's very crafty when she's got the ball in her hand. She's got good handles. We saw a nice little crossover there. She can sort of hang in the air and keep her eyes on the target, and I'm sure we'll see that on display more tonight.
So with that free throw, Steph has hit 29 of her past 30 free throws, make it 30 of 31. She's in very good form from the charity stripe over the past few months for the Townsville Fire.
You're a brave man.
I know.
Saying that stat, Ben. And there we go. You see her get a nice steal and a finish. What a start for Steph Reid.
Named the Opal squad just a few days ago. She started hot. It is 29 degrees in Townsville at the moment. Steph Reid even hotter on the court at the start of this one at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. Another sloppy pass. This time Courtney Woods says thanks very much.
That's something Adelaide will just have to take out of their game. The last time they played a few days ago, 19 turnovers 3 days ago against Sydney. So they need to take care of the basketball.
First corner attempt, that coming from Brazel. That was misfiring. Reid trying to cross over, but 3 Lightning guards ready to stop her in her tracks. Townsville looking to make an early statement. Woods was trying to thread the needle and find the cutting roof towards the basket, but it came off the feet of the Adelaide Lightning. Izzy Bourne on screen, back in the WNBL this season, despite the disappointing team season so far for Adelaide. Bourne has been terrific, pretty consistent for the Lightning. Here's a look at Sammy Whitcomb for Woods for 3. Akuzo with the offensive rebound, giving the Fire a fresh 14 seconds to work with. Whitcomb for Roof, for Woods, who is wide open. Well, let off there for Adelaide. They try the quick pass down the field, down the court rather, and that was Bourne had it tipped away from her.
And that's the way Adelaide like to play. If they can get a clean rebound, they've got runners streaming down the floor and looking to try and get an early basket.
Townsville 3-1 against Adelaide at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. There's another turnover early from Adelaide, this time off the fingers of Izzy Borlase. 3rd season with Adelaide. Sense how she plays. It's been 13 seasons with Adelaide. That's how much she is playing with experience beyond her years. Here she is stealing from her fellow Opal squad member in Whitcomb, driving towards the rack and earning 2 free throws.
I wonder if the ball is a little bit slippery. There's been a few uncharacteristic turnovers by both teams early on, and we know how hot it is and usually very humid in Townsville.
You have a look at the weather forecast in Townsville, it's 30 plus for the next 10 days straight. It's 29 right now.
Well, I'd say if that's the case, coming from Adelaide, there'll be Nat Hurst, and we can see already she'll be making quick subs, getting players on and off, giving them a quick break. We see Mansfield on the court now.
71% free throw shooter so far this season. Izzy Borlase. She's 100% so far tonight. 2 much needed points to get the Adelaide Lightning underway. 1st versus 8th in the WNBL, but the last time these two sides met, just the 6 points between them. Roof thought about passing to Whitcomb, instead kicked it out. Woods almost took an extra step. Reid now has 5 seconds to work with, and then she's in a natural habitat, kicks it out, and Roof can't hit the long range attempts. Reid so dynamic getting into the paint. Here's our first look at Mansfield, who put up the mid-range 2 attempt. And Willoughby got the rebound and was hoping for the lucky roll. She got a second offensive rebound. Third time luckily for Jocelyn Willoughby.
And Willoughby, I like the way she's been playing the last few games. You know, against Sydney, she had 16 points.
Yeah.
And she was aggressive. She had an aggressive mindset in what she was doing.
Roof linking up with Wickham, fading away. That was pretty from Michaela Roof.
Tough to defend that fadeaway.
Dangerous proposition in the paint, Michaela Roof. Is born at the other end of the court. Gonna get that one to drop. It's 2-on-1 here. Woods for Akuzo.
What a great pass by Courtney Woods. Akuzo streaming down the floor. Just a perfectly timed pass and an easy finish.
Every time Akuzo is close to the rack like that, maybe one day she will jam it down. It is a goal. Has been a goal of hers. She's certainly been keen to put that on the radar in the past. Wickham. Oh, my word. Steps back. Quintessential Sammy Wickham hits the long ranger, and unsurprisingly, an early timeout called by Adelaide Lightning coach Nat Hurst. This timeout is brought to you by Cygnett, Australia's #1 digital accessories brand. Cygnett continues to power the WNBL. Australian-owned and designed, Cygnett is available at JB Hi-Fi, Officeworks and other leading retailers. For more information, head to cygnett.com. 13-4 lead here for the Townsville Fire. You said early before the game, Laurie, you were worried that the bear had been poked. That was courtesy of the Melbourne Boomers.
Yes.
Get that sense early that Townsville are trying to make a statement early.
Well, exactly, and they felt that. They took that personally, that loss, that you know, that's not the way they play, that's not the way they got out-rebounded. And so, as I said, they had a hard week on the track, really training, really being physical with each other, because it is the pointy end of the season. You know, there's only a matter of 4 games left for some of these teams, and so they have to make sure that they are playing consistently week in and week out. So, you know, I think it shows. I like the fact that they're not taking the Lightning lightly. They respect them, but they're still going to go hard at them, and that's a sign of respect.
Still plenty of stars on the Lightning roster as well. Lauren Mansfield is a star in this competition for a number of seasons. Here's Turner catching in the perimeter. Bourne almost wasn't quite expecting it, but she's so nimble and agile on her feet for a player of her height. Akuzo, though, able to bring down an easy rebound. The chemistry on offense from Townsville is always a pleasure to watch. We've already seen it on display. Reed is central to that. Now you add Sammy Wickham into the mix. Out for Akuzo, 2 to shoot. Lobs it in for Ruth, has to put it up. Did she get it up in time? Points count.
Just in time. That's what we call losing the whole clock.
Borlase takes the early shot and an easy rebound for Ruth. Reed, 1-on-1 with Mansfield. The Euro step, and then from behind came Turner, and Reed will head to the stripe.
Again, it's a nice push by Townsville. They're looking to play at a good pace right now, and not just, you know, we know how good their quarter-court offense is and how you mentioned how precise they move the ball and their player and ball movement. But they also need to get some cheap baskets and some transition baskets, which was just on display there by Reed.
An 84% free throw shooter across the season for Steph Reed. 9 times she's had 10 or more points, averaging the 5 assists per game. Game number 79 in the WNBL. We were speaking off-air beforehand, Laurie, that it almost felt like yesterday that Steph Reed was essentially a development player at back in the Southside Flyers days under the Dandenong Rangers umbrella. She has developed in the past 4 or 5 seasons. Nice ball movement from Adelaide. They did all the hard work, but the shot just falling short from Brazel in the end. And the Fire make them pay. Woods into the paint. Tough. Didn't get the lucky roll. Now Mansfield Steps up the tempo, lobbing it in for Bourne. Good match up here, Bourne via Kuzo, and that is awesome from Izzy Bourne.
That's a great move by Izzy Bourne. Just had no trouble taking Akuzo on with the confidence and a great finish.
Pass out here for Reed. And it's gone out of bounds, so a win at the defensive end of the floor that time for Izzy Bourne.
That wing pick and roll, they really have to have their principles in place, their defensive principles, because Courtney Wood's coming off it. Michaela Roof always rolls hard. So if she's open for a fraction of a second, they're going to try and get her the ball. But if she's not, then whoever's coming off it, Courtney Woods or Reed, well, they're deadly getting their feet in the paint and finishing.
Bourne cuts. Great team chemistry. Mansfield found Bourne. And the Lightning with a couple of buckets in a row.
Good read that she was just being overplayed by Cassandra Brown, who stepped onto the court, and a nice backdoor cut.
Whitcomb trying to go baseline. Put up the shot, couldn't quite get it to go. And Turner brings down the rebound. Lovely handles from Borlase. Mansfield made an impact since she's come onto the floor as well for Adelaide. And then puts it up from the baseline and hits the two. 6-love run here for Lightning.
She really has, and you know, she started the year as a starter, and then the second half she's come off the bench, but I think she's been good coming off the bench. She's sort of inserted some energy, some control of the tempo of the game. She's a good decision maker.
Might have been a little block in there from Turner, but Roof follows up. Another fadeaway, another field goal for Michaela Roof. 19-10 lead for Townsville. Tough defense from Sammy Whitcomb, not letting the fellow Opal squad member Izzy Borlase have an easy pass on offense.
Well, for Townsville, they are ranked second in the competition for their defense, so points against, just over 70, and they're ranked second for points for. So, you know, that's why they're in first place. They have a good offensive and a good defensive game.
Here's Turner. Feeding Mansfield. Can't quite hit her second mid-range two in a row. She has looked lively. Reed catches, knocks it down.
Again, that was orchestrated from the side, pick and roll with Ruth rolling, Sammy Whitcomb coming off of it this time, and shooters abound on the three-point line waiting.
Steph Reed knocking down that triple. She's 33% from deep so far this season, but she's had an electric start to this contest. Already up to the 9 points. Michaela Roof will take a seat. Her and Zatina Akuzo, so important, and important for, I suppose, Shannon Seabom as Izzy Borlase goes to the line, Laurie, that with Zowie B out of the lineup at the moment, that the minutes balance between Akuzo and Roof is evenly shared, particularly on a human night like this.
Well, exactly, and I know they've got Cassandra Brown to go in, which she's on the floor now, but she's more of a shooter. She's a great three-point shooter, and so she's not necessarily going to go in and bang bodies and get great rebounds.
So Borlase connecting on her free throws. Here is Cassandra Brown, the number 22. Steph Reed loves the situation. Goes to work, crossing over, and is denied emphatically by Willoughby. Perfect timing. Reed still good enough to get it up.
And another rebound by Brianna Turner. We know she leads the league in rebounding, and she just hounds those rebounds.
Great defense leads to great offense. Mansfield hits the triple. Little confidence booster there for Adelaide. The three key players involved there, Willoughby, Turner and Borlase, and now a turnover. Adelaide get the ball back.
Mansfield's really impacting this game at both ends of the court.
Up to the 5 points, has a rebound and an assist as well. Borlase will take a seat. She has 4 free throw shots to her name. Here's Basham. Last week was excellent against the Bendigo Spirit. Turner almost wasn't expecting it. Had it knocked away from her hands. Woods back on the floor, driving inside. Tough stopping that. Just playing with incredible confidence at the moment, Courtney Woods. And then Reed almost came up with the steal. Two players went to Willoughby in the end. It left Brazel free and she hit the two. Well played by the Lightning. Wickham can't hit that three.
Good blocking out by Adelaide. Didn't give Townsville a chance at a second opportunity there. And that's what they need to do. They need to get a body, block out so that they can play their style of game, which is get that rebound and run and push. Put Townsville under pressure straight away at the defensive end.
Much better signs for Nat Hurst's side in the past 5 minutes. Townsville led by as much as 13 at one stage, but they've been able to chop that back to 7. A minute left in this first quarter. Tonks on the floor for the first time. That was feeding Mansfield, who can't get that to go. Turner looking for the tip. Can't get the offensive rebound. Wickham is threatened early. Brown. First look at McDowell White on the floor. Back out for Wickham, who's free for three. And Akuzo gets the rebound. 13-second differential between the two clocks as time ticks down. Courtney Woods drills it.
As you said, it's all about her confidence. And she's got a really wide range of skills offensively. She can drive it. We saw her pull up there, and we know she's capable of shooting the three ball.
6 points early for Woods. Final say here for Adelaide. Willoughby can't get that one to go. And Townsville will head to quarter time with a handy 9-point lead, although the Adelaide Lightning just giving them something to think about. It's Townsville 26, Adelaide 17 at the first change.
Use that momentum and power you've created to explode out on your first dribble. Okay, we've got 2 more. 1.
Sometimes as women, we look for perfection as opposed to execution.
Work ethic is important when the players are 40 years younger than you. Cheers.
Welcome back to the Townsville Entertainment Centre with Sammy Wickham just doing what she does best. That step back three on display and then feeding Steph Reed, who was the player of the game in that first quarter. But Lauren Mansfield started on the bench, came on and immediately gave the Adelaide Lightning some momentum. Townsville led by as much as 13 in that first quarter. It's a 9-point differential between the two sides at the first change. Townsville 26, Adelaide 17. Ben Waterworth with you alongside Laurie Chiswick. It's just going to be important that the Lightning hang in there because the Fire, you just sense, Laurie, will have the answers all night.
Well, they will, but I like the way Adelaide, kept at it that first quarter. It was looking a bit scary there, and they stuck to some good defensive principles.
Yep.
Got a bit of their running game going and some nice baskets. So they just need to keep that mentality of not taking a backward step against anything that Townsville throws at them.
9 points for Reed, 6 for Woods, 6 for Roof. Doing the damage for the Townsville Fire. Adelaide with first possession. Tonks, a good look there from the free throw line. Turner brings down the rebound.
Turner brought down that rebound, but in fact it was just a little bit of a tap from Willoughby.
Yep.
But now you can see the turnover again, and they had 5 to the quarter time. They need to take care of that.
Whitcomb to Roof. Backing down here on Bourne, fading away. That was tough. Akuzo strong. Big win there over Turner to get that rebound. McDowell White hits the long range. And then the turnover straight away. Second quarter starting like the first quarter from an Adelaide Lightning perspective with a couple of turnovers. Big confidence booster for Jessica McDowell White. Hits her 3rd triple of the season from 10 attempts. Now 8 to shoot for Whitcomb. You don't want to leave her free for 3. And a long rebound for Borlase. Trying to move it at speed. Borlase goes to work again, goes solo and steps with ease into the paint and lays it in for 2.
That's what we've seen so much of her this season do that. She's strong in her body. She's got a good center of gravity. And she just goes to the basket so strongly.
Roof again from the corner, well off target. And again, Akuzo waiting for it underneath the rim. McDowell White doubles up from long range.
Really good spacing by Townsville, and that penetration, getting 2 feet in the paint, then kicking it out. The defense is collapsing, kicking it out to shooters, which this time was McDowell White.
McDowell White, her previous best score in a game this season was 5 points against Canberra. Well, in a couple of minutes, she's already got 6 here in this second quarter. Well played, Jessica McDowell White off the bench. Akuzo inside, draws the foul. It's called on Turner. Zatina Akuzo will head to the line.
So really good team play. Sammy Whitcomb, a skip pass into the corner for Courtney Woods there, who then, Roof, and then recognized that Zatina had a really good steal on Brianna Turner and pumped it inside. And now she finds herself at the foul line.
Game 104 for Zatina Akuzo for the Townsville Fire, her 6th season with the club. And in particular, her last 4 games, she's really starting to step it up, averaging the 16 points and 7 rebounds. But I suppose importantly, Laurie, 14 field goal attempts per game in the last 4, which I think goes to show she's playing with so much confidence at the moment.
Well, you know, when players get injured like Kunik and Zowie B, and you're given that opportunity for extra minutes, you know, she was playing well before then, but now she's got even more minutes to do different things. And she's really taken that by the scruff of the neck and run with it, and it's produced some good results.
Speaking of good results, that was brilliant from Bourne. Again, that nimble footwork in the paint on display. Whitcomb, Akuzo. Now Woods, deep 2 is a good 2. She's in hot shooting form tonight, Courtney Woods.
Just, you know, looks really confident, really composed.
4 of 7 so far for Woods. There's Turner. Now that's what we want to see from Bree Turner.
It is, and she did that a couple of times in the last game, but not enough. I mean, that's getting that ball at the foul line area and just punching it in on the catch is really effective for her.
Often we'll see her just pass it off without sort of looking at the basket, but that time took on the responsibility and hit the 2. 7 to shoot here for Whitcomb. Works her way inside, loses control, gets it back, kicks it out, and Roof hits. No. Almost didn't hit the rim, in fact. 6.5 to play. And nice recognition there from Willoughby to Bourne.
Great movement off the ball from Bourne. Rolling hard to the basket, and a nice find and finish.
Just hanging in there, the Adelaide Lightning. It's taking a lot of hard work. I just have that extra class on offense. McDowell White hoping for the pick and roll with Akuzo, didn't come off. Turner lost control herself. And McDowell White gets it back. Akuzo almost alley-oops it in. That would have brought the house down at the Townsville Entertainment Centre.
Certainly a lot of orange t-shirts out there.
Bourne eyes wide there as she attempted the 3. Turner, Woods involved competing for that rebound. So Mansfield is called for the foul, though. Oh, in fact, Mansfield sitting onto the floor, rather. 10-point lead for Townsville.
They're definitely hanging around Adelaide.
Turner, quick hands. And Mansfield can't bank it in off the glass. Reed, so balanced and composed. McDowell White, who's staying on the court, rightly so. Steph Reed steps back, draws in Turner, kicks it out. Akuzo with a rare triple attempt. All oxygen. Borlase, hoping to thread the needle towards Bourne, but Roof got a hand in there to knock it out of bounds. But Izzy Bourne is looking dangerous when she's sprinting towards the basket.
Well, she is, and that's something that they look for every single time down the court if they can. You can see the eyes up early. That's just something that they've built into their game. Nice finish by Borlase.
Oh, and Lauren Mansfield pumped as well. Almost hip and shoulders her to the floor. Borlase gets the 2 and will head to the line for an extra.
No, don't injure her. She's going away with the opals.
Oh, what a special talent. She was picked 12 in the ESPN WNBA mock draft back in December. See Borlase. Last season averaged the 14 points in the 17 games. Benny Watson Youth Player of the Year, plus 6th Woman of the Year as well.
It's so fun watching a player like her, a young player like a Jade Melbourne, and see them a few seasons in a row and see their development, see if they go overseas.
Brazel back on the floor for Adelaide. Woods pulls up. Tough, but Courtney Woods can't miss from inside the perimeter tonight. Again, Fire responding to every Adelaide challenge. Bourne thought about the triple, then went inside and with tremendous athleticism laid it in.
Finished on her left. That was a great explosive drive from Bourne. It's tough to get around Roof. She's a good defender.
Special talent, Izzy Bourne. Reed in and out. McDowell White again. Audacious attempt that time with defense right in her face. Mansfield for Bourne. Again, didn't go for the triple, went inside. Mansfield with receiving on the outside. Now Bourne pulls the trigger on a triple and gets it to go.
Well, and that absolutely forces a timeout to be called by Townsville Fire coach Shannon Seabon, and so he should. Right now, Adelaide are got all the momentum going their way.
Huge second quarter from Izzy Bourne so far. This timeout is brought to you by CTM Sport. CTM Sport is here to transform your team's travel experience. Leave the hassle of off-court arrangements to CTM Sport, the experts in sports travel management. Get the winning edge today at ctmsport.com.au. All of a sudden, the lead of Townsville has been reduced to 4. Izzy Bourne has exploded in this quarter. She's already got 9 points in this second quarter alone. You feel like she's got a few more daggers to throw before half-time. This is a terrific performance from Nat Hurst's side so far.
Well, and Izzy Bourne, that was an example of she drove it to the basket. We saw her get by Michaela Roof, so she finished strongly. And then the next time down the court, she shoots a 3. So really hard to defend. You now have to close out long and carry a hand for that three-point shot, but at the same time, stay low so that you can contain her and she doesn't blow by you.
In her first 6 games this year, Izzy Bourne, she averaged 1 free throw attempt per game, but in her last 11, it's almost 4 free throw attempts per game, which I think just goes to show that she's improved her inside game, or at least has more confidence on the inside now. That's dangerous when you combine that athleticism and the three-point shot as well.
Well, that's exactly right, and that's what you want to have as a player. You want to be hard to defend. Don't be one-dimensional. Be hard to defend like she is.
188 centimetres, Izzy Bourne. The game high 13 points. Akuzo Got the pass and did all the hard work, but couldn't finish on the left hand.
Well, they really got let off the hook, Adelaide, because there was no split line help at all.
And they capitalise at the other end. Akuzo knocks it out of bounds. There is Izzy Bourne. She's 6 of 8 from the field so far. A couple of big baskets from her. Nat Hurst described her pre-season as one of the most sought-after Aussie collegiate players looking to turn pro this year. And we're seeing why tonight. Willoughby for 3, can't get it to go. That would have reduced the margin to 1. In the meantime, Brown. Back to Woods. Tight Adelaide defence here. Akuzo one-on-one with Bourne. Fading away. Zatina. Brilliant.
Really nice finish. She hasn't been involved quite as much scoring-wise, but it was good to see that she was able to finish that shot.
Kicks it out. Ball ace. Thought about the triple attempt. Then went inside for the mid-range 2. Good defence from Reed. Forcing the tough shot. Brown brings down the rebound. Wickham and Mansfield fighting over it, and it's deemed off Wickham. And that is a 39-33 lead. Another timeout is called here at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. This timeout is brought to you by Ford Aussie Hoops. Ford Aussie Hoops is the perfect introduction to the world of basketball for kids aged 5 to 10 years. Visit aussiehoops.basketball to find a program near you and register today. So 2.5 left to play in this second quarter. As you look at your top scorers so far, Bourne and Borlays and Brazel, the Bees all getting it done for the Adelaide Lightning. More of an even spread from a Townsville Fire perspective. You can see McDowell White with 6 after those 2 triple attempts, but no points for Steph Reed in this quarter as well. And so far in this quarter, it's Adelaide 16, Townsville 13. Can they hold her off, Townsville Laurie, for these next 2.5 minutes and even sneak the lead at halftime?
Well, I often, I like to look after a timeout's being called. Do either team throw in a different defense? So extend it up, maybe go into a zone, just mix it up a little bit, because you can talk about it at your timeout. So we'll see if that's the case with either of these two teams.
Let's have a look at what the Fire have got on defense here. Bourne catches outside the perimeter. Kuzo stays with her. Borlays closely guarded by Wickham, but not closely guarded enough. Borlays gets the 2 and will head to the line for an extra.
That's why she is so hard to defend. Her ability to get to the rack. I mean, you've got Sammy guarding her. You had Cassandra Brown reaching in to try and get a deflection, and she was able to use that core strength and finish.
Borlays is 6 of 6 from the free throw line tonight. She has 12 points. 8 of them have come in this second quarter. Adelaide within 3. Just over 2 minutes to play. Akuzo catches again. Ball was a bit caught off guard. Woods works her way inside and Brown floats it in for 2.
Really good team basketball there, inside out. Adelaide had good split line help that time, forced the pass outside. Just was able to drive it in, but there we see Jocelyn Willoughby again attacking that Townsville defense. They were back, but they weren't quite set. So really good decision to take that baseline drive.
So that's 2 fouls on Akuzo with just under 2 minutes remaining in the second. Jocelyn Willoughby at the line. She's an 83% free throw shooter for Adelaide, their best free throw shooter this season. Her second season in the WNBL, of course, last season with the Sydney Flames, averaging the 15 points per game, but lots of experience with the New York Liberty in the WNBA, so wonderful to have her down under 2024 season. She hits both, and the Lightning within 3.
We've got a great ball game here. You know, again, we talked about it at the start. Sometimes 1 versus 8 doesn't mean anything, and especially this year, there's been so many what you'd call so-called upsets.
And it's not as if the Fire seem flat either. It's the Lightning they've really lifted to the standard and to the occasion. So foul called. Basham will step onto the floor for the Adelaide Lightning as Brazel takes a seat.
And this is, in fact, you know, we've seen Brianna Turner has 2 fouls, so she's sat for quite a bit this quarter.
Reed couldn't get it to go, then got her own rebound to give Townsville a fresh 14 seconds. Brown in the corner. Couldn't get it to go, and Willoughby steps up with a strong defensive rebound. Normally Turner would have grasped that. And Willoughby sprints forward, hits the 2, and count the points. And this can level the scores at 41 apiece if she hits. Jocelyn Willoughby with a couple of aggressive drives in the last minute to put the Fire defense under the pump. Last on the ladder, but at the moment, there's still 1 point down. Willoughby misses the and 1. We've got 63 seconds and counting left in this very entertaining first half at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. Brown steps inside, can't bank it in. Unlucky roll off the glass. Mansfield set the tone for Adelaide at the start of the game. Kicks it out for Bourne, who's free for 3, and Adelaide lead.
Did you think you'd be saying that at the start of the game? Before halftime, Adelaide leading by 2 points.
Izzy Bourne up to 16 points. Incredible second quarter from her and Izzy Borlays. Reed is called. Basham rather is called for the foul. So Adelaide still with his 2-point advantage. 14-second differential between the 2 clocks as we tick towards half-time. Townsville a little stunned at the moment, but Woods tries to respond. She can't, and Adelaide can have the final say of the half if they want. And the ball is in Wise hands.
It is, and I'm so glad they're going for that one last shot. Don't give the Fire the chance to answer back at all. Use that full shot clock.
Can they give themselves the ultimate momentum boost ahead of halftime? They can't. Witkin can kill it here with the prayer. Falls short. But that is a mighty second quarter from the Adelaide Lightning. 26-15 in that second quarter. And the 8th place Lightning lead the 1st place Fire 43-41 at halftime. We said pre-game, this is an unpredictable league. Unexpected results. Are we headed towards the ultimate curveball tonight? Let's have a look at the second quarter highlights. You think, Laurie, will be made up of a lot of Izzy Bourne and Izzy Borlays?
Well, they will, and just that comeback, although we did see some nice little baskets from McDowell White there, but such great court vision, getting their feet in the paint. Adelaide, you know, we can see Townsville, you know, they made some good shots, but I tell you what, they put a lot of scoreboard pressure, and they did it by committee. That, you know, Bourne obviously got quite a few of them, but, you know, there was contributors all over. I thought Willoughby was great herself.
Yeah, and particularly sort of changed the tone and the dynamic of the match when she drove aggressively late in that quarter to earn a couple of free throws and then hit the 2 as well. But Bourne and Borlays again showing.
Well, Shannon won't be happy with that 43 points scored by Lightning, considering they're the best defensive team, and considering Adelaide only average around 70 points for the season for the whole game, and already they have 43.
They're going at 50% clip from the field at the moment, the Adelaide Lightning. You did mention that they had a pretty high turnover count in that first half as well, but They have started to connect a little bit better, and importantly, they are dominant off the glass as well.
And you can see the 24% for the three-point shooting for the Fire. Well, that's going to change. We know they're good shooters. They have shooting mentality, and so, I'm sure that'll lift the second half.
Big game from Willoughby, as you mentioned as well. 6 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Don't go anywhere. An exciting second half coming up. Can Adelaide cause a boil over? We'll find out on the other side of this. It's Adelaide 43 leading Townsville 41.
Women are powering forward and changing the game on and off the court. Together, Basketball Australia and the Australian Sports Commission are powering women in basketball. We are amplifying the voices, skills and spirit of women in the game. From the backboards to the boardrooms, we're breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and empowering the next generation of female athletes and leaders. Get involved, and together we can create a future where every girl's hoop dreams are within reach.
It's a game of strategy, nerve and unpredictability.
Todd Woodbridge pushes Australia's most addictive game show over the edge.
One counter for a shot at $40,000.
The more you risk,
2 counters, $20,000. I'll also throw in a holiday.
The more you win.
If you don't get that jackpot, you'll leave here with nothing.
New Tipping Point Australia starts Monday, Jan 29 on 9.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, from the Boomers and Opals to Aussie Hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. Because all dreams start somewhere.
I'm Izzy and we're here with Leo and Anna with the Ford Aussie Hoops.
Who's your best shooter on the team?
This girl right here. It's probably Loz.
Do you guys have a favourite spot on the court that you like to shoot from?
Right here.
Right in front.
I like it.
Do you have any tips for shooting?
So make sure your feet are always facing the rim wherever you shoot it from, and then snap that wrist and hold your follow through. Do you want to have a go? Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Nice. Thanks for hanging out today, guys. Good job. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Leo.
Good job.
Good job, Anna.
The importance of period poverty can't be underplayed.
The fact we get to raise awareness for it and support women in need.
We get to supply people with the period products and sanitary items that they need and sometimes go without.
Share the Dignity do a great job of trying to make that accessible for all females.
To be able to raise awareness for something that affects so many women in Australia, I think it's just so fitting for our league.
Fighting period poverty is sponsored by Foodie.
You can help by purchasing your bloody good socks today.
centuries, supernatural creatures have lived among us.
There are vampires, werewolves, doppelgangers, witches,
And even hybrids.
Go! There are friends.
Our enemies.
The ones we love.
And the ones we've lost. A lot of blood, a lot of partying.
And if you're gonna die, it might as well be epic.
Sink your teeth into the drama. The Vampire Diaries.
Here we go.
Stream every episode on 9 now.
You overheated the generator.
That's nightgown. Away.
Well, that smile might make all the girls at the church social swoon, but it's not gonna work on me.
Well, I'm not gonna be polite. I'm not gonna show you where a fuse box is. Night.
This Manhattan Doctor's life is going south. Stream all episodes of Heart of Dixie on 9 now.
I've got a staff meeting to go to, and so do you. You elitist Harvard fascist missed the dean's list 2 semesters in a row, Yankee jackass.
Stream The West Wing
Feel better getting that off your chest there, CJ?
I'm a whole new woman.
on 9 now.
Women are powering forward and changing the game on and off the court. Together, Basketball Australia and the Australian Sports Commission are powering women in basketball. We are amplifying the voices, skills and spirit of women in the game. From the backboards to the boardrooms, we're breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and empowering the next generation of female athletes and leaders. Get involved and together we can create a future where every girl's hoop dreams are within reach.
Yeah, you want to do it yourself?
Oh, yes? Steph Reed, take one.
And the fire burned brightest. Townsville are WNBL champions.
To win a championship for Townsville, I think that's just more special. That club means the world to me. See a small town like Townsville get behind us like that, it just showed how much it really meant to the city, and I think it's something that the kids that came to our games, they'll never forget. It was just the most amazing feeling in the world. I do a lot of community engagement through the club. I was going to Cleveland Youth Detention Centre. I'm a Brighter Lives ambassador, so the Townsville Hospital Foundation. I go do visits at the cancer wards and the kids wards. To be recognised for what I did off the floor, it meant a lot. I mean, it's obviously not why you do it. To be recognised for the community award, it just shows that I'm much more than a basketball player, and I think that's gonna be something I remember for a long time.
Reed makes a move. Outstanding from Steph Reed. It's Reed for a 3 and 6 it. Reed found an opening and the finish as well.
I've always been a player that's got a chip on my shoulder. I've flown under the radar for a long time, and I think in my brain it's just trying to keep it that way because that's what makes me so hungry to compete every game. So I'm really proud of my achievements, being able to represent the Opals and be recognised. I want to win another championship and yeah, hopefully represent the Opals again someday. Having a standard of winning is really good for a group, especially ours. It's not the same. We have a lot of new people, so to have that standard of winning is something that I definitely want to keep and hopefully uphold this season. Now we've got a target on our back.
Well, Steph Reed wants to represent the Opals one day. Well, that one day is coming up very, very soon, Laurie Chiswick, because earlier this week, Steph was named one of 12 players named in the Opals squad that is Brazil-bound next month for the Olympic qualifying tournament. The Opals need to finish at least third in their pool to ensure they get to Paris 2024. Reed is in the squad along with the likes of Jade Melbourne and Izzy Borlase, who's out there as well. It kind of almost feels like the start of the changing of a guard a little bit as part of the this Opals setup.
Well, I spoke to Steph Reed yesterday, and just to congratulate her on making the team, and she said when Sandy, she picked up the phone and it was Sandy, and Sandy told her the news, she said, I just had an audible gasp. She was very, she was excited, she was surprised, happy, thrilled, the whole bit. And as she said, she's she's sort of gone under the radar a lot of her career. I first met Steph Reed when she was playing for Buffalo University when I was on a basketball tour, and then worked with her a little bit when I was at Dandenong, as you mentioned at the beginning, and she's just gone from strength to strength and just persevered and kept building her game. She's got a great relationship with Shannon Seaborn, and you know, well done to her in her debut officially as an Opal, and congratulations to everybody on that list.
So the Adelaide Lightning here at Townsville lead by 2 points at halftime, and it's a lot due to Izzy Bourne's dominance. She has 16 points at halftime. 12 of them came in that second quarter as well. Izzy Bourne's had 8 points in that second quarter. And as we're about to start this third quarter, it's a 43-41 lead in favour of Adelaide. The challenge now for Adelaide, Laurie, is to try and maintain that momentum and that scoreboard dominance, which is very much easier said than done against Townsville in Townsville.
Well, absolutely, and I'm sure Townsville would have talked about some really specific things at halftime. One of them being their rebounding. They are getting out rebounded by Adelaide. And secondly, keep shooting their three-point shots. I think they've done a good job of getting their feet in the paint. They always know they're in the right spots, their receiver spots, good passes out. They just haven't fallen.
Yep.
You know, they're shooting it at 24% right now, but I have no doubt that will change. And Shannon would have been saying they're good shots to take, keep taking them, but really we need to get our defense up and at them. And so Adelaide have to now absorb probably that extra pressure that is going to come from the Townsville Fire.
Just a little delayed at the start of the third quarter. Should be underway pretty quickly. Just from a Sammy Whitcomb perspective as well. So Whitcomb has the 3 points so far, none coming in that second quarter. But the sense is, I wish there was a stat for it, but the sense is Sammy just seems like the player that explodes in the second half in particular. And third quarters, she's one player to watch, so that the Adelaide Lightning, Laurie, will really have to be on their game to try and curtail the influence of Whitcomb, but also Reed, who didn't have any points in that second quarter.
Totally agree with that, and both of them are really capable of using the pick and roll, whether it's on the wing or the high pick and roll, and then creating off of that. But we'll see what they start off with in the second half.
Reed works her way into the paint and travels. Good start for Adelaide. Get an early stop, 12 seconds in.
You can see Brianna Turner back on the court with those 2 fouls, as you would expect.
Brazel hits the deck. Reed is called.
And it's good to see Steph Reed up and in and working on that full court defense, because that's something that she can bring to the Opal squad.
Yep.
You know, a point of difference where she can get up and in and be that feisty defender.
Second foul for Reed. There's the confidence of Turner driving into the lane. Her second layup bucket for the night. Adelaide lead by 4 points now. Turner with 4 points to go with 7 rebounds. Can Whitcomb catch fire? Pass was inside. No one was cutting towards the basket. Easy turnover for Adelaide. Willoughby props and hits. What a start for the Adelaide Lightning.
Wow, less than a minute and a timeout's been called by Townsville. He is not happy with what he's seen. The energy levels is much higher for Adelaide than it is for Townsville.
Jocelyn Willoughby takes her tally to 8 points. And Adelaide lead by 6. This timeout is brought to you by the official WNBL app. We don't want you to miss a minute of the action this season. So for all your live scores, all your highlights, all your player and team information, and a lot more, download the free WNBL app today from your preferred app store. So we kind of all thought, how are Adelaide going to be able to try and curtail Townsville at the start of the quarter? Well, Adelaide have thrown it right back in the face of the Fire with the first 4 points, the first stop of the quarter as well. We've seen Nat Hurst in the background, looking pretty casual as well. It's a hot night in Townsville 29 degrees, but she would be mightily satisfied with what her team's
Absolutely,
doing.
and so she should be. And to be honest, Adelaide have had some really small margin losses this season that, you know, a couple of those change and go a different way. And, you know, you're sitting in a different spot on the ladder. So she's got a lot to be positive from with her team.
Key stat as well is that Adelaide have been outscored in the second half by their opposition in 12 of their 16 games this season. So that's another one to keep on watch. Turner rips it away from Akuzo. Wanted it more than anyone else on the court. Willoughby for Borlase, who pops up for three. And she's fouled. Can you believe it? Borlase hits it and will go to the line to shoot for a fourth. Hopefully she's okay.
Well, there's a nice little smile on her face, so fingers crossed that she's okay. But what a great decision. And you know, it was a good decision for her to shoot that and pull up and shoot that because, I hope she's okay.
We'll have a look shortly. You can see Sammy Whitcomb and Reed. So 2 fellow Opal squad members.
Oh, she's saying, I'm okay, I'm okay.
Here's a look. So just right at the end, contact from Steph Reed.
But why not shoot that when you've got the best rebounder in the competition in Turner there to clean it up if you don't make it?
Hearts in now is just for a moment there. We'll see. She continues on. She completes the 4-point play. She will come to the bench and take a seat. Fingers crossed. No serious damage for Izzy Borlase. We'll keep you abreast of all the latest information. In the meantime, the scoreboard says Adelaide 51, Townsville 41. Remarkable.
Well, that's not something that we or probably most people were expecting, but, you know, you got to give Adelaide full credit. They've just not only chipped away at that early lead, but have just powered ahead.
Looks like Borlase is getting that knee attended to. Fingers crossed it's okay. Reed for Ruth, for Woods. In she goes to Akuzo. First points of the half for Townsville.
That was pretty good team basketball. I think 4 out of the 5 players touched it in that phase.
Willoughby again with aggression, denied by Akuzo. At both ends of the floor, Akuzo making a statement. Nice timing with the left hand from Zatina Akuzo. Brazel and Basham on the floor. With Borlase taking a seat. Brazel with 5 to shoot, confidence, and the execution from Taylor Brazel.
Hasn't she been a real light for Adelaide?
Great find.
What she's had in the last sort of couple of months of this season, she's been really excellent to watch.
Whitcomb gets the screen from Ruth, can't hit the long-range attempt, and a rebound for Basham. We saw Basham last week turn the game quickly for Adelaide against Bendigo. Now Turner for Bourne, thought about the 3, went inside, up in the cylinder, when Akuzo knocked it away. Second big defensive play of the quarter from Akuzo. Whitcomb lobs it in for the player who's doing it all for Townsville at the moment. Akuzo gets the unlucky roll. 7 minutes left in this third quarter. Basham into the paint. No call. Turner gets the offensive rebound. And then an open look. Almost surprised she had that much space and time to work with. Her attempt fell short. Woods for Roof. And now Reed has a good look for 3. Can't get it to go.
Oh, they're just not dropping for them.
Whitcomb, though, gets the steal. And they've got a fresh 24 in their front court to work with. Whitcomb goes herself, and that is tough over the hand of Brianna Turner.
And that, just like you said, Ben, you know, she's somebody that all of a sudden she can just go to work and make a difference in the game.
Bourne misses on the left, and that's some heavy contact there from Brazil. His roof hits the floor. Third foul for Brazil. Also 3 fouls on Reed for the Townsville Fire. Incredible performance this is so far from the Adelaide Lightning. They continue it for another 1.5 quarters. Reed gets the screen from Akuzo, sees parted, and now Whitcomb is free. She can't get it to go. And Roof knocks it out of bounds. It'll be an Adelaide ball. And so far tonight, the Townsville Fire are 4 of 20 from deep.
Don't let your busy life bring you down. Google Recovery Lab to find out more.
They flick the switch here, Townsville. Mansfield on the floor for Adelaide. Still no ballets. That knee being assessed.
Great defense by Sammy Whitcomb on Willoughby, just giving her no space to move.
Mansfield pulls up in the paint, falls short, gets her own rebound, follows up, gets the 2, fouled, and will go to the line for an extra.
That's just the experience of Mansfield. Shoot that shot, follows it herself. Often the shooter is the best position to get their rebound.
Big play there from Mansfield. She's up to 7 points, make it 8. And Adelaide lead by 11 points. Do the crowd need a fire up for their home side right now? McDowell White for Whitcomb. What trick can Sammy pull? She pulls out the aggressive layup for 2. Gritted the teeth, found the space, and executed. Basham can't lay it in for 2. An important stop for Townsville.
We haven't sighted Izzy Borlace back on the court as of yet.
Woods, beautiful pass. Akuzo just missed. Willoughby and Whitcomb colliding there. Is a foul on Whitcomb, her 3rd personal foul. The other thing to note is Steph Reed's on 4 fouls, so she's off the floor at the moment. McDowell White.
Well, that's a pretty crucial stat that sort of slipped by us because Reed has really been the one to set the tempo of this game and you know, keep the group organized.
Willoughby, great handling skills, and then hits the mid-range too.
Good use of the screen, and then the re-screen by Willoughby to come up with a nice balance pull-up J.
Nice hand from Mansfield. Again, the vet comes up with an excellent play and uses all her wisdom and experience to hold up the play. Turner for Basham. Back for Turner. Knocked away by Whitcomb. Still 14 seconds on the shot clock.
I almost thought that Mansfield could have pulled up there in that transition because she's been hitting those jump shots.
We've seen her pull up from that kind of position so many times over the years as well. She has the inbounds pass here for Willoughby, who's looking ominous. And she will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Akuzo is now called for her 3rd personal foul. And Willoughby will head to the charity stripe. So far tonight, she is 2 of 3.
Well, Adelaide have only taken 7 3-point shots. They've got 30 points in the paint, so clearly that's a focus of theirs to pound it in, to get their feet inside, to try and draw some fouls and finish and get themselves to the line.
Willoughby now over 10 points for the 10th time this season. Adelaide extend the lead to 13. No typo. Woods hoping for a pick and roll with Akuzo. Wood then goes herself and falls well short. Fire have just 6 points so far this quarter. Ill-directed pass from Mansfield, well out of the reach of Vaughan.
So what I'm seeing right now from Townsville is just this pressure that Adelaide's putting on, but all of a sudden they're going more one-on-one instead of sticking to their great team structures that they look so on point with when they're moving the ball, players are moving. They're a bit stagnant right now and feeling that pressure of, okay, I can do this on this one pick and roll. You know what I mean? It's a different style, and they need to go back to playing the team basketball that has gotten them to be, league leaders.
They received a big reality check for the Melbourne Boomers last weekend. Right now on their home floor, Adelaide have stunned the championship favourites. Whitcomb for Woods, but Tonks was right there defensively. Akuzo, tough. Great defence from Turner. Adelaide moved the ball up at speed. Willoughby for Bourne. Regathered. What a spin!
Oh, my goodness, that was a good move by Elizabeth Bourne. She felt the defender where she was and just spun opposite, and such a great finish.
15-point lead for Adelaide. What are we witnessing? Woods into the paint, draws the contact, gets the two, and will head to the line for a much important extra free throw.
There's still a long time to go.
Of course.
But I loved your comment at the beginning about the large curveball that could be thrown.
Yeah. It would be one serious curveball if Adelaide are able to hold on, but 12 and a half minutes in a basketball game is a mighty long time.
It is, especially when you're playing the team that's, top of the ladder and knows how to win close games.
Bourne screaming for it. Inside, Turner takes a rare mid-range attempt and falls short. Was wide open though. McDowell White running the point while Reed is off the floor. Whitcomb somehow able to find a way to get that in the hoop.
That's who he said, get the ball in her hands. She'll make right decisions, whether it's to score herself or to get her teammates open.
4 points so far in this quarter. Bourne, Woods did the splits as she hit the deck there. Tonks for Bourne, for Turner, 3 to shoot, has to put it up. Willoughby now has to put it up. And Mansfield gets the long rebound and reassesses from outside. What a quarter from Adelaide. Mansfield on a non-preferred right somehow gets it to go.
Just that arm extension and then just a little flick up at the basket.
And then an offensive foul is called. Bourne is in a bit of trouble there after some contact from Woods. Referee was right in front of it and called it immediately. She's getting to her feet now. In a good way. His look on replay. Left hand from Woods coming out. She knew.
She knew straight away. Didn't she? That little nod and recognition.
And the good thing for Adelaide is that Bourne's okay. If you're just joining us in the last 5 minutes ago, repeating that Izzy Borlase went off the court at the start of this quarter. It looked like a lower leg injury. She was able to shoot a free throw and walk off, but it looked like a contact injury, almost a knee-on-knee contact injury with Steph Reed. So she's still off the court, but Adelaide, despite the absence of Borlase, continuing to extend their lead over the Townsville Fire. 9 seconds to shoot here for the Lightning. Mansfield for Willoughby. Fumble.
I think she was thinking about what she was going to do before she even caught the ball. I'm sure she had in mind that she was going to rip the ball and go baseline, but need to catch it first.
4 players in double figures points for the Adelaide Lightning. Just the one for Townsville. That's Courtney Woods. Here's Brown for Whitcomb. Now McDowell White playing more minutes with Reid on the bench in foul trouble. Woods finds a way inside and again earns the and one.
Courtney Woods has been so impressive. You know, she's not particularly explosive, but she's strong. She knows exactly what she wants to do. She initiates the contact so that she has complete control when she's going up.
Here's a question without notice, Laurie. What happens when Alice Kunek comes back? Courtney Woods off the bench?
Well, I mean, I think eventually, yes, but what a great person to come off the bench. I mean, and Alice isn't going to just walk in and start playing a lot of minutes in that, so, you know, maybe it'll be, I think it would be a while before, you know, Alice started, but yeah, what a problem to have.
Mansfield for Bourne from well downtown. Almost got the lucky bounce. Brazel keeps it alive. We might have a stoppage here to wipe up the floor. It's hot in Townsville tonight. Probably pre-game expecting maybe a few more stoppages to the game like this, considering the nature of the conditions there. The game has flowed pretty well, though, right throughout the night so far. So it'll now be a baseline ball for Bourne, with a 1 second differential between the two clocks, but Adelaide can essentially have the final say if they want. Willoughby gets herself in a tangle. Brazel catches, shoots, can't hit. Mansfield keeps it alive, reverses, hits! Lauren Mansfield gets the buzzer beater to go.
Well, again, that was Brianna Turner just getting that rebound and tapping it to the wide open Mansfield, and just a great finish.
And at 3/4 time, Adelaide have extended their lead from halftime. They lead 66-55. Lauren Mansfield gets the buzzer beater. She has up to 14 points so far. She had 12 points alone in that quarter. As we have a look back at some of the highlights, she, with Izzy Borlase off the court for most of that quarter, Mansfield stepped up, but they've got contributors everywhere at the moment, Laurie, the Adelaide Lightning.
Well, they do. They are playing with such confidence. They are playing not like they're worried about Townsville. They're not taking a backward step. And as you said, they've got a wide spread of contributors out there. So really hard. Right now there's 4 players in double figures. That's hard to defend. And that move by Bourne was just sensational.
Yeah.
And then there's Courtney Woods, who is just working hard. She's got 16 points, leads her team, and is just trying to do everything to drag them back into this ball game.
Great to be a fly on the wall, and the Shannon Seabold huddle right now as we turn for home. There's a look at some of the numbers as well. We mentioned the 3-point count earlier for the Townsville Fire. That really hasn't improved in that third quarter. They're still going a 20% clip from deep. Lightning dominant off the glass, including 11 offensive rebounds to 6 as well. Now there's the story. In fact, I might have been talking about a knee earlier, but it definitely looks like an ankle problem for Izzy Borlase. And ice is going on, and when ice goes on an injury midway through a game, Laurie, that player is not returning for the rest of the game.
I really had hopes that she would be able to play in this fourth quarter, but you know, right now her team are doing it without her on the court and doing it by committee. Let's hope that she's okay and it's just a minor sprain.
Just in a couple of weeks, Borlase is due to head to Brazil to join the Opals and take part in that pre-Olympic qualifying tournament. She's pretty flat on the bench. Of course, Adelaide will send her for scans.
All right, let's see where this curveball is going to end up, Ben.
It has been a mighty effort so far from the Adelaide Lightning. Willoughby playing a big game She's got 10 points, contributing in many other ways. What a pass! Fast hands, fast finish from Turner.
Don't see that often where Turner goes to set the screen, slips it, they give her the ball, and she finished.
It's like Adelaide fans have been waiting for this side of Brianna Turner to emerge all season. What a time to come up with that look. Ruth fading away. That was a tough look. And Willoughby comes down with her 6th rebound of the game. She's also got 5 assists and 10 points. Bourne for Mansfield with the right.
Wow.
She can do no wrong off the bench. The microwave tonight, Lauren Mansfield.
I tell you what, when things are going right for your team, they just continue to go right. And not only did she finish that, but now she gets a chance to add an extra point and make this margin 16 points.
Still keeps it at 15 with that missed free throw. They have to take every opportunity possible because they know the fire will come hard. Brown, good wide open look. It is not dropped all night from deep. And then Ruth missing. Woods has a look. She can't hit, and that probably sums up the Fire's night so far.
Well, it is, and their three-point shooting just keeps dropping and dropping. 18% right now. I'm surprised, or I'm sure we'll see Steph Reed shortly, because it doesn't matter. She's got 4 fouls. You know, get her on the court, see if she can do something.
And then reversing was Brazel. Goes to show the confidence Adelaide are playing with when Tana Brazel is just the determination to go towards the rack like that.
You can see how stagnant right now.
It is, yeah.
They're just standing. So that was one pass shot. Now she made that shot, of course, as we're just going to point out how stagnant it was. But that's not usually the way they play. That's not their style.
A 27% three-point shooter as well, Michaela Ruth, but she gets that one a drop, and gosh, did they need that. Mansfield palms off McDowell, up a good defense from Ruth as well to lend support. 3 to shoot for Brazel, and floats it in. Now it's Adelaide with the response for every Townsville challenge. Willoughby almost picked the pocket of Whitcomb, just keeps it alive. Ruth is feeling it. Oh, she's got the hot hand. 2 triples in a row for Michaela Ruth.
Well, next play, set a play up for Michaela Ruth, shooting that 3. My goodness.
Floor wipers on the floor. 7.5 to play in the 4th quarter. And it is a timeout called. 2.5 played so far in this 4th. 72-61 lead for the Adelaide Lightning. This timeout is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, proudly supporting community basketball in Australia. All right, we talked about 12.5 minutes being a long time in basketball. 7.5 minutes is still a long time in basketball, Laurie, but not as long as 12.5.
Well, it's really important that the Lightning don't play, and I know this sort of sounds, but there's a difference. They don't play not to lose.
Yeah.
They still are trying to win this. They still have to be aggressive in what they do. They have to stay focused. They have to talk. They can't just go into a shell and hope Townsville miss.
Yeah.
Or, you know, so they have to continue to be the aggressors. They have to continue to make life difficult. They now have to get a hand on Ruth. She shot 2 threes the last couple of times down the floor. So we see Steph Reed coming on, which will change the dynamics and the tempo of the game. So, but they just have to hold steady and not go into any sort of shell. Easier said than done against a great team like Townsville. Especially without their best player in Borlase on the court either.
Steal from Woods. A rare turnover from turnover. Whitcomb goes to work. Back under 10 points. Townsville Fire on a mini run here. Adelaide led by as much as 15. But Mansfield responds at the other end.
What an answer from Mansfield.
Perfect time to come up with a long-range shot, Lauren Mansfield. Wickham had it knocked away from her. No foul call. It'll be a baseline ball here for Townsville with 13 on the shot clock. All ball there from Willoughby, according to the referee. She threatened to break the game open in that third quarter, Wickham. She's being heavily guarded every time the Fire are on offense.
And Willoughby only has one foul, so she's the right person to put on Sammy.
Mansfield goes to Wickham. Bourne straight up in the cylinder. Wickham misses. Mansfield has put this team on her back, and Bourne can't hit the triple. Almost followed up with her own rebound. 12 points the margin.
That's better movement by Townsville.
Wickham catches, shoots, well short. She's sensing it now, Wickham. Might have to go herself. Stolen by Woods. Second time she's done that in the quarter, and she hits the hardest shot in basketball. The open layup drops for Courtney Woods, and we're back within 10 with 6 to play.
A nice little pass fake. That's what Adelaide need to do. Woods did a great job at anticipating that ball reversal.
Earlier this season, it was announced that for the first time ever, all WNBL games will be shown on the WNBA League Pass. So for our viewers tuning in outside of Australia and New Zealand, make sure you've downloaded the WNBA app for WNBL games, WNBL content. You are seeing some incredible WNBL content right now with the 8th placed Adelaide Lightning leading the 1st placed Townsville Fire 75-65 with 6 minutes to play. There's the subplot in the game in the foreground of your screen. You can see Izzy Borlase with ice on that right ankle just weeks before she's due to play for Australia at the Opals pre-Olympic qualifying tournament. That'll be scanned in the coming days. Fingers crossed, as Laurie mentioned, it's a minor sprain and there's no major damage.
You can't imagine it would have to be pretty bad for her to miss out on that, opportunity. But again, as the selectors too, you have to be smart. You can't take injured players away.
Townsville in the press after the timeout.
In a bit of a zone right now, a 2-3 zone. Mixing it up.
Now Mansfield showing great patience. Brazel, Mansfield, ball in great hands. Lobs it for Bourne. And a travel is called on Izzy Bourne. Woods has been awesome for Townsville tonight. It is, with a lot of other teammates down, Courtney Woods can hold her head high tonight, Laurie.
Absolutely. She's been a real standout for the whole game, and especially trying to drag her team over the line. Down by 10 points right now, 5.5 to go.
18 points so far for Courtney Woods. Roof again. She's already hit 2 triples this quarter. Couldn't make it third time lucky. It's knocked away.
And so those sort of turnovers, or it wasn't a turnover, but Adelaide have to be really protective of the ball, be strong with it, know that there's players that are going to be coming up the floor behind and trying to whack it out of your hands, and they just can't afford to let any of turnovers result in layups.
That's where Lauren Mansfield is going to be so important in this quarter. Here she is, lobbing it in for Turner. It was knocked away from her, still 11 seconds. Oh no, it's deemed off the hands of the Adelaide Lightning. The Adelaide were a bit surprised by that. Townsville get the ball back. halfway through the last quarter. Townsville crowd lifts, as does Courtney Woods, but Turner rejects it away. The #1 blocker in the WNBL with one of her most well-timed blocks of the season. Willoughby into the paint. Bourne for 3. Off target. Reed thinks about taking on Bourne. Akuzo, bad pass, straight into the lap of Turner.
And that's what they need to do when they do get the ball back, Adelaide. Get it into Mansfield's hand. Let her run the show out there. Use her experience.
Vi still have a few fouls to give as well in this quarter. Brazel 1-2 with Turner. Got rid of her opponent. Hit the left-hand roll. Taylor Brazel.
That 12-point margin, it's really hard for Townsville to get by it. Another block from Turner. So timely in her blocks.
Thrown away, though, by Mansfield. And no one's catching Whitcomb. So we're within 10 points still with just over 3.5 to play. Townsville not going away. Adelaide not throwing it away. Willoughby, Bourne, they're showing ample patience, Adelaide on offense at the moment. Willoughby is free for 3!
Wow, what a basket by Willoughby. That was so timely because he could just feel the pressure from Townsville heating up.
Big second half from Jocelyn Willoughby. Foul is called.
Tell you what, everybody else in the competition, Melbourne sitting at 6 losses, Southside 6 losses, they'll be looking at this and feeling quite happy for Adelaide.
They've been so brilliant so far. Roof steps back, checks, hits the triple. Still within 10 points. Michaela Roof almost single-handedly has kept her side in the game this quarter with 3 triples alone in the final stanza. But Adelaide so far this term have had an answer every time. Turner drives and will go to the line. Again, Brianna Turner showing excellent grit and determination in the paint.
Well, the thing is we haven't seen that often this season, and just to keep her little drive, her dribble alive, that crossover, and just caught Akuzo a little bit off guard there.
She is a 46% free throw shooter this season.
Oh, come on, Ben. Do you have to say that? I reckon
just the facts, Laurie.
She'll make 2 now. I'm banking on her making 2, just because you said that.
She already has 15 rebounds in this game to go with 6 points. Brianna Turner, 1 of 1 so far. One of 2.
Well, it was a half comment.
We met in the middle, Laurie. Reed gets the screen from Ruth. The pick and roll with Ruth. The block from Bourne. And then the turnover. Straight to the hands of Woods, who is fouled. Call is on Turner. That's her 3rd personal foul. And Woods will go to the line.
So right now, Townsville are doing a good job of pressing up full court, and Adelaide just aren't handling that pressure right now. You've got to get it in the right people's hands so that they can dribble it or pass fake, have Townsville go flying. But I'm sure that's why this timeout's been called, that Coach Nathurst is going to want to talk about that, how to beat this press, how to take care of the basketball.
2.5 minutes to play. Adelaide Lightning, who have won just 4 games so far this season, eyeing a 5th win and the most unlikely win against the Townsville Fire.
You're right when you say unlikely win. 1 at this time of the season. 2, Borlase sitting on the bench with ice around her ankle. and 3. Townsville got smacked by Melbourne last round, and we just expected them to come out and really, you know, retaliate.
And 4, it's at the Townsville Entertainment Centre as well.
Exactly. Wow.
Lauren Mansfield will be very important in this last few minutes. She's led this team superbly in the point during this last quarter today. Every time the Fire have challenged, Adelaide have come up with a response. Townsville Fire crowd, as stunned as they are, still haven't lost their volume.
Well, they've been shooting the 3 ball at 25%, so now's the time to make some of those shots and bring that percentage up. But Courtney Woods at the line here, you know, she's a good foul shooter, 91%.
Yeah.
So, you know, a good person to have at the line right now.
It's 3 of 3 so far tonight. 19 points, 5 steals for Courtney Woods tonight. One of the most improved players in the WNBL across the past 2 seasons. And they are hot in defence, Townsville. Adelaide find a way through. Mansfield guarding, directing. Bourne. Can she find a way through? Mansfield for 3! Boom!
Goodness, Mansfield.
Playing an epic game, Lauren Mansfield. Roof steps back, well off target. Brown brings down the rebound. They must hit this. Whitcomb in and out.
Oh, that's a great hands by Cassandra Brown.
Lays it in. They're not quite done with yet. A minute and a half to play, still that 10-point margin. Bourne pulls the trigger. Why not? When you've got ice in your veins like Izzy Bourne.
Oh my goodness. Thank goodness for her that went in, because that was a big shot to take instead of using a bit of a clock up.
And then she went for the block. Reed draws the foul. She will head to the line. That is just the first personal foul on Bourne. How about the guts of Izzy Bourne? And the fist pump as well.
There were no rebounders there from the Adelaide Lightning.
A rare free throw miss from Steph Reed. She hits the second. But you sense that Izzy Bourne triple might have sucked the life out of Townsville. Turner, Bourne, Mansfield. This young team has played with maturity beyond their years in this last quarter. Their game IQ has been superb.
Especially at the start of the game, Ben, when what was it, 13-point difference,
yeah.
You know, in the first quarter there early on. Townsville just looked like they'd come out to play and that they were going to cruise to an easy victory. But they didn't know about the curveball.
No. Mansfield, Turner, oh, she's got to do it again, is she? Izzy Bourne! Born to be a star! Puts the icing on top of a sweet Adelaide Lightning cake.
I think if I was Townsville, I'd probably rather be having Sammy Whitcomb put up those big shots than Michaela Roof. I mean, I guess she's...
Oh, here she goes again for 3 in a row. She can't hit. Brazel brings down the rebound. And Lauren Mansfield, who has led this team superbly. 22 points for the vet tonight. Bourne again. Can't get it to go. Roof brings down the rebound. But the Adelaide Lightning, against almighty odds, have pulled off the most outrageous curveball of the WNBL season. The bottom place Lightning beat the top place Fire at the Fire Pit by 15 points. Adelaide 90, Townsville 75 in the upset of the season.
Well, it absolutely is the upset of the season, and good on Adelaide for persevering. You can see the high fives from Coach Nat Hurst, and as I said, they've come so close in so many games, and just to hang in there game after game and get this victory is absolutely sensational.
And you can see the emotion on the court as well, Laurie. There's been a lot of hard yards. You mentioned early in the call, a lot of close losses, but this, despite finals being well out of the equation for the Adelaide Lightning, you can see the emotion. It would mean so much to the team and to Coach Nat Hurst.
And we listed all the reasons why they probably shouldn't have won this game, and you know, you just never know. As you said, in sport at the beginning, upsets can happen, and Townsville, this will be another reset for them. But certainly, you know, everybody else in the competition, the Melbournes, the Southside, Sydney, you know, they'll be looking and go, well, maybe Townsville's not as impenetrable as we thought they were. 2
losses in a row now for the Townsville Fire. 1 win on the trot for the Adelaide Lightning, if there is such a thing. They were led by Lauren Mansfield on screen. The captain put 22 points on the board tonight. And importantly, Laurie, she was 3 of 3 from deep. She took her chances when she knew they were there to be taken, but she also had the 8 rebounds and the 3 assists. One of the better games I've seen Lauren Mansfield play for quite some time.
Yeah, and with such a young group, you know, they need all her experience out there, especially in a game where a good team like Townsville is going to keep challenging you, keep coming back. But there she is, all smiles on the screen, and so she should be.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights so far in this fourth quarter. And it really was an arm wrestle. Just in terms of that 10-point buffer, Townsville threatened to put on an almighty comeback. It started with 2 triples in a row from Michaela Roof. In fact, she hit 3 triples in that fourth quarter alone. But credit to this young Adelaide Lightning outfit. They found a way to respond every time and played with maturity beyond their years.
Well, and I think that's what's happened in the past. They've been leading it, you know, deep into the fourth quarter, but they just they didn't know how to win close games. And I think over the course of the season, and it showed tonight, they were able to, as you say, respond to every challenge that Townsville threw at them.
So Adelaide Lightning went at 52% from the field tonight. The Fire well down from beyond the arc, 23% compared to the Adelaide Lightning's 47%. And they cleaned up off the boards, Adelaide. 34 rebounds to 12 in the end. Top of the scorers for the Adelaide Lightning in the end was Izzy Bourne. 24 points for her to go with 22 from Mansfield. Borlase with 16 in essentially just over 2 quarters. Remember, Izzy Borlase left the court early in the third quarter with a right ankle injury. The Lightning will keep everyone in the WNBL abreast of those scan results. Courtney Woods couldn't have played much better tonight. She had the 20 points. A humbling experience, no doubt, tonight for the Townsville Fire as we have a look at the games to come. And we've got a big one coming up in the West. 6:30 Western games on a Saturday night are normally a lot of fun. So stick around for Perth and Bendigo. And then we conclude tomorrow with the Melbourne derby between the Boomers and the Flyers in almost a bit of a finals tune-up for those two sides. But Laurie, has the saying, expect the unexpected, ever been more appropriate than what we've seen the last 2 hours?
Well, if the game to follow, Perth and Bendigo, is anything close to this game, we are in for another cracker of an evening.
Thanks for that, Laurie Chiswick, on behalf of Laurie and our entire hard-working team. This is Ben Waterworth signing off from a hot and humid Townsville, where the Adelaide Lightning threw the curveball of the season. A 15-point boil-over win over the top of the table, Townsville Fire. Good night.